The culture war has taken on legs of its own ever since Charlie Kirk's death. Charlie Kirk's death has added an unseen amount of fuel to the culture war. Things have really hit the fan. I've seen Steven Crowder say something like, they gotta bleed how we bleed. These folks is really beefing like Crips and Bloods, bruh. This is like 2012 Chirac. They really enemies, bruh. And the thing is, it's various cultures are clashing. And because it's various culture and it consists of like probably every culture on the internet, it's now the ultimate mainstream topic. The culture war is now, if you get famous or you put yourself at the forefront of the culture war, you now have visibility you never thought was possible. And because of that, we're seeing a lot of bad faith actors who are not really interested in calming down attention. They're interested in making sure how they can profit from it. You see, what we're witnessing is there are the same characters exist in different forms throughout various cultures, right? Rage baiters. See, Charleston White. Now, I like Charleston White, okay? But, Charleston White knows he's a rage baiter. But Charleston White realized, man, I made millions of dollars and I became famous on a reasonable scale by dissing dead rappers and dissing rappers that the Black community love who passed away. Now there's a new arena where it's uber mainstream and all I gotta do is rage bait the Charlie Kirk supporters, rage bait the conservatives, and that will propel me to new heights and fame that I never knew was possible. I was over with. So now Charleston White is taking on social media trying to get in on a piece of the Charlie Kirk discussion.
What's your opinions of Kirk's death? I don't give a fuck about Kirk's death. Nigga, I don't give a fuck about no white man dying. I don't give a fuck about no white boy dying. They think I care about a white boy being killed by another white boy. I don't give a fuck about no white boy dying. I don't give a fuck about no Pepperwood getting shot. I don't give a fuck about no white boy getting killed. Fuck his kids. They give a fuck about that white boy kid. They probably autistic anyway. Give a fuck about that white boy kid. Fuck them kids. Fuck Charlie Kirk, baby. Give a fuck. All the posters that die, man, fuck that white boy. Any white baby. Slick fuck about no white boy. The white on white crime. I don't give a fuck about white on white crime. White people don't care about black on black crime. Fuck that white boy in his deal.
The most interesting takeaway from this is watching other communities' reaction to Charleston White. We're desensitized. If you're in a hip-hop community, if you're in Black culture, and you've been aware of who Charleston White is for years, you're desensitized, bro. All right, Charleston White done said F every dead rapper we know and F they kids as well, man. Charleston White has done this. So we heard it so many times that when he said it about Charlie Kirk, we probably ain't even blink an eye. But it's been interesting seeing other communities react to Charleston White because they're treating Charleston White as if he's like a pro-Black advocate. And they're like, oh, this pro-Black advocate said this about Charlie Kirk. And it's becoming a bigger deal because they believe that Charleston White is like a liberal and like a pro-Black advocate. Them not understanding or knowing who Charleston White is or what his politics are is really helping Charleston White manipulate their emotions some more for his own self-benefit and self-gain. They don't understand, like they're getting even more pissed because they believe that Charleston White is this super pro-Black, like Farrakhan minister dude, not knowing that Charleston White is closer to their identity politics than he is to who they're beefing with. Charleston White dressed up in a Confederate outfit, screaming the hard ER at the top of his lungs in an interview before. Charleston White was just at an HBCU talking about how much he dislikes people who look like him.
Damn about my people. Mr. White. The white about people. I don't give a damn about my people.
Come on, you right there, bro. You right here. Charles.
They wasted my time bringing me here. They wasted my damn, man. With me about my people. Y'all don't even care about y'all people. Go talk to your grandmama then.
We was so happy like it's systematic racism.
They wasted my time. Racism. I don't believe in racism.
Get that card to Mr. White, big
I
dog.
don't believe in man. I don't believe in
God bless y'all, man. You too.
Man, I don't give a damn about no ACU. I went to a white school.
And you're now at HBCU.
I don't give a fuck about an HBCU.
Well, why are you here?
Because they brought me here by mistake.
Hey, bro.
I didn't know I was coming.
Let go.
I didn't know I was coming. I didn't know I was coming to this
But you
bullshit.
still can't.
That's the Charleston White that Black people know. So they're gravely mistaken to think that going at Charleston White means they're going at like a pro-Black, Pan-African, like BLM minister, bro. That's not the case at all. Charleston White is more so on their side. But because they don't understand it, it's allowing Charleston White to manipulate them further, because Charleston White realizes that for him to successfully rage bait or to continue to do numbers while talking about Charlie Kirk, he kind of has to present himself in alliance with liberals or Democratic ideology. He has to kind of align himself with BLM in order for them to be mad enough to where they feel like they got to respond back to him and make videos about him. So Charleston White went full-on Pan-African, full-on pro-blackness in his response to the backlash to the first video where he's in the car saying F Charlie Kirk's kids.
You don't say shit, and I say it to the when I'm trolling the about their dead babies and dead mammies, you don't say shit. So what do you mean? Well, I'm a comedian. I get the with anybody. Satire comedy is what we call it. How you gonna take that away from me? So Charlie's no exemption. Don't you joke about fentanyl Floyd? He's no different than a fentanyl Floyd. Floyd was the Black Lives Matter movement. Kirk is a white ring conservative movement. We get the joke about one another. Remember? Liberal, conservative, black. Come on, immigrant. So why is it you want to get in your... This is not America that beat British. I'm telling you. These are not the Americans that beat the redcoats. These are the... These are not the Americans that could have stopped 9/11. And your feelings all the time. These are the Americans that's crying because you didn't get picked on the playground because someone said something about you. Who gives a fuck about the dead? Charlie can't hear shit I'm saying. Charlie's dead. Even your fucking Bible says let the dead. Why are you guys worshiping and honoring the dead? Even your fucking Bible says it.
This might sound dumb, and a lot of y'all is probably going to call me out for it, but I genuinely can't tell if Charleston White is faking the accent because he's mocking them, or if Charleston White is faking the accent to ingratiate himself and make them feel like he's one of them, and he's just giving a critique or being a comedian. I honestly can't tell, because it could be him mocking them like, oh, now y'all upset after all y'all said about black people, now y'all upset, right? Or it could be he's speaking Southern, he's trying to make them feel like, oh, he's been here all along, he's one of them, and he's just joking. Now, what I will say, man, is I don't feel like Charleston White can hide behind the veil of I'm a comedian this time around, or ever when it comes to what he says about people, kids. Now, a joke usually has a punchline, right? You set it up for the punchline. If you don't set it up and your punchline is F your kids, F you dead, dissing a dead person kids to me is not a joke. It's not something you joke about. It's not something that I believe can ever be funny from my perspective. Now, I don't got no problems with Charleston White. I just feel like dissing a dead man kids is not a joke and it can't be considered funny. Now, but it's working for Charleston White. This tweet of this video on like the Charleston White Menace account got 6 million views. I seen it on another account with 4 million views. This is working for Charleston White, but it's gonna work against black folks because Charleston White isn't coming as, again, the Confederate, anti-black, far-right, conservative Charleston White that we know him to be. Charleston White is presenting himself as a pro-black like minister. He's presenting himself as somebody who is pro-black and he's anti-racism. But we just heard on that video, Charleston White said, I don't believe in racism. But they don't know that Charleston White. They know the Charleston White who's presenting himself as a representative for Black America. And they're going to take it out on us. It's going to end badly. This ain't our fight, to be honest, bruh. We ain't killed Charlie Kirk. Oh, white boy killed Charlie Kirk. Black folks, this ain't our fight. It has nothing to do with us. But if we're going to take down the path of trying to antagonize, trying to instigate, trying to put ourselves in the middle by mocking this man's death, by dissing this man's kids, yo, this to me was a very easy PR for black folks. Once the killer was announced, we say, hey, man, we are praying for the family of Charlie Kirk. We hope he gets justice, and we stay quiet, and we don't even give an opinion on the situation. Let them figure it out. But for some reason, man, we chose to put ourselves in the heat of the battle, while at the same time, we're hearing powerful voices like Steven Crowder say, they gotta bleed how we bleed. Why are we including ourselves voluntarily in the we? We don't gotta bleed.
Hey guys, Charlie Kirk wasn't killed by. He was killed by his own kind. So did y'all see that Utah governor or whatever said they were just hoping it'll be somebody else? You know why? Because they want to hate. They really want to hate. They really want to hate. They was hoping it would just be a black guy or an immigrant. They was just hoping it would be someone else. But you know what? God used your own kind. God, and they're gonna try to make it seem like this kid was brainwashed. And no. I keep telling white people, even your children are rejecting your rhetoric. Even your children because they like rap music, they like this, they like Mexican. Even white children are rejecting that bullshit that you guys are trying to spew. So there's no way. They cannot twist this. No, you guys, he was killed by a young white conservative kid.
The statement he's talking about was actually made, I think, yesterday. He's not wrong for how he interpreted. I just didn't interpret it exactly how he interpreted. My litmus test is, if I change the race of the person and the circumstance, do I still see the microaggression? If a black man in New York City would say, man, listen, I was hoping and praying, man, that the person who killed this New York icon was from another state or another country. It's a shame when I found out it was one of us. I would interpret it as somebody who's a New York City representative. They probably like, man, New York, we better than this, man. New Yorkers, we are a family. We don't kill our own. This is unfortunate. But because there's a white man in Utah who's conservative in this climate, we got to scan with a microscope for microaggressions. And that's not the fault of the person who's listening, right? Because they've probably had to deal with a lot of microaggressions in their lives, right? So they're the victims of microaggressions. So hence they see it probably in everything. But if we were to switch it over to somebody in New York who was black, you wouldn't see the same microaggressions. You probably wouldn't even think twice about that statement. But because he's a white man in Utah, we have to. And that tells a lot about the climate we're currently in.
You know, this bad stuff happens. And for 33 hours, I was praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us. That somebody drove from another state, somebody came from another country. Sadly, that prayer was not answered the way I hoped for. Just because I thought it would make it easier on us if we could just say, hey, we don't do that here. And indeed, Utah is a special place. We lead the nation in charitable giving. We lead the nation in service every year. But it did happen here.
Adin Ross actually messaged Charleston White when he heard Charleston White talk about Charlie Kirk, which really goes to show that when it comes to other communities, they really stay on code, bruh. I think that some black folk, we're the only ones who don't stay on code, bruh. Yo, Adin Ross is like the biggest internet troll ever. Adin Ross heard Charleston White speaking about Charlie Kirk, one of him. Man, Adin Ross tapped in to check Charleston White, bruh. Dumb boys don't play when it comes to their own. So Adin Ross says, why you say F Charlie? Charleston White responded back, I showed him empathy in the beginning, but once I researched who he was, he's a effing racist who pushed hateful rhetoric against black Americans. I don't even know who was or what he did until I researched him yesterday. Adin Ross responded back and says, but I feel like no one deserves to be shot in front of their family. I wouldn't even wish it on blank because his kids are going to be traumatized by that forever. I've seen what Charlie Kirk had to say about Trayvon Martin. I've seen what Charlie Kirk had to say about the Civil Rights Act and MLK. I've seen it all. I'm one of those people where I'm choosing to take the path of empathy. I'm choosing to respect this man because he's dead. And I'm choosing not to add on to the fire. But I'm doing this because that's the godly thing to do. But if somebody is not godly and they don't believe in the godly thing to do, then I'm finding a hard time in putting together words that will convince somebody as to why they should not go after somebody they believe is racist and wanted them gone. I guess the only thing that I would say was, what type of research did you do to come to that conclusion that Charlie Kirk wanted you gone? Charleston White also wrote, I stayed up all night researching his ideas, ideologies, public speaking, etc. I didn't find one video of him speaking about black Americans in a positive manner. He was using negative propaganda against blacks, similar to how blank used negative propaganda against blank by way of Nazi media outlets. But the people scream, free Dirk King Von. What about their victims? He's getting backlash for this, obviously. Now, what I would say, man, is if you believe in God, then it's the godly thing to do not to go after someone who has passed away. Let them rest in peace. But if you don't believe in God, then there's nothing I could really say to really, like appeal to you. And if you truly believe in your heart that Charlie Kirk was a racist and that Charlie Kirk wanted you as a black man gone and eradicated, then I can't tell you how to feel or how to react. You got to make your own decisions and you got to deal with the consequences of those decisions. But y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys feel about this, man? Do y'all feel like Charleston White is correct, or do you guys feel like Charleston White is wilding out for saying F Charlie Kirk's kids? Let me know in the comment section what you think. And if you're still watching, click on this video here, somewhere on my screen, somewhere here, or here on my screen to find out more about this radio RICO. Apparently, this Breakfast Club host might be getting arrested soon for this RICO. Click on this video right here to find out what I'm talking about. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.